Hello everyone, welcome back to our backyard. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Nat. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you have not subscribed already, please considering to subscribe. So it's a lovely day here in Amarillo, Texas, Zone 7. We are almost Thanksgiving time here in mid-November. And as I was working on my greenhouse, organizing and getting it ready for the winter, I figured I need to make a video, an update video for you guys. I built this cattle panel 3 years ago, and it have held up tremendously for where we are at. There are dings and damages here and there, but for the majority of the cattle panel greenhouse, it is holding up quite well. As for insulation and protecting our plants, it has done its job. Okay, so today's video I will show you guys a walk around, just to show you guys the condition, and we'll go ahead and walk inside and show you guys real fast as possible on how I go about heating it for the winter and keeping our beloved plants alive. Okay, so bear with me and stay tuned for the rest of the video, guys. Okay guys, let me grab the camera right here. Now let's go ahead and walk around the greenhouse. As you guys can see, the plastic film that I put on, which is a 4 mil plastic greenhouse film, it is holding up quite well. Okay, there are no tear on the outer edge and on the top of the cattle panel greenhouse. The only thing is it is starting to to be not as clear, but I can see it lasting for another year or 2 or even 3. So this is the front. All the batons, tape and stapling is holding up. The only damage to this cattle panel greenhouse, where I had to patch it up with some duct tape real fast, okay, are basically from our neighborhood cats and our pets. They sense the heat inside and they want to crawl in, so they dig into here and cause a lot of little tiny holes on the corner ends, but that is it. The majority of the cattle panel greenhouse held up pretty well to our extreme wind here in the summer. I mean, we can gust up to 50 miles or even 60 miles per hour wind. Okay, everything's nice, still very tight and sturdy. So the only minor damage that I remember was basically these plastic that was held on down to here. The extreme wind with the door open seemed to push it out a whole lot, so I had to use a new strip of baton tape and basically staple this end down this past summer. But that is it. Holding up quite well. It is serving its purpose wonderfully. Okay, you guys, now let's go ahead and step inside the greenhouse and talk more about how I go about insulating and heating it for the winter. So right now it's about 40 degrees and I'm pretty sure inside is quite toasty right now. So yeah, it is quite warm in here. My thermostat is reading a temperature of 83 degrees, which makes sense because any temperature outside on a sunny day during winter or fall, it would be 30 to 40 degrees higher inside the greenhouse with the door closed shut. Okay guys, so yeah, things can get pretty toasty real fast. So As you can see behind me, I got orange large bubble wraps from Home Depot covering our almost the whole interior. And this is probably the best thing that I have done thus far inside. One of the many beneficial things that I have done. Let me explain how I go about putting it on and its purpose. Okay, let me grab the camera. Okay guys, got a camera, so here it is. The inside of our greenhouse with our citrus and tropical plant like guava and many other blueberries and stuff that we want to grow during the winter. So insulation. For the previous 2 years, I have not provided any insulation inside whatsoever and only used the plastic film, and I was able to keep the temperature above freezing, okay, even though it dipped below to the single digit number and even negative degrees at times. It is possible, but it takes a lot of work, and this year I don't want to put in that much of an effort to pull out all the stuff to keep it warm. So this bubble insulation serves a dual purpose. During the day, it would keep the inside much cooler than if I didn't have it. As you can see, in the full sunlight right now, there's a little bit of shade, okay? So it is not extremely hot in here. And also, with the greenhouse, if you provide any double layer or air pocket between the interiors, you are able to trap in the heat source much better because hot air rises, okay, and seep out slowly. But with this bubble wrap insulation, it would make it a lot slower, okay? So how do I put it on? Well, I bought a large 2 foot by 100 foot large bubble wrap from Home Depot, okay? And I attached them with these binder clips. As you can see here, you can save yourself a lot of money by purchasing it online. A box of 144 for about $15. And all you do, you just attach the bubble wrap together and attach it to the metal that is right there, okay guys? Instead of using tape, tape will not hold it up as well as these clips because you can build a lot of moisture and humidity in here, and that tape would slowly peel off, okay? So I highly suggest you guys buy at least 100 clips because I use over 100 clips for sure in this 8 by 12 greenhouse. All right, just start at the top and work your way down, okay? In some spot you will not be able to line it up with the rod right here, but that's okay. You can just clip it together and hold it tight by using another clip on a different location, and that's that, okay you guys? I can talk more about it, but we need to move on because this video is getting long. Okay guys, I grabbed my camera so I can show you more and explain more in detail of our heat source, okay? So the backup propane tank, this is how it looks. This is a Master brand, but they make a birdie heater version also, and all it does is attach to the valve right here. You got to be smart and make sure and spray water with soap to make sure there's no leak, okay? And when you do have to use this, when you enter the greenhouse, make sure to crack the door wide open and do not stay inside for too long, okay? Use common sense, guys. As a backup source, this is the best method that I have, okay? A propane extreme case heater if anything goes south and the power went out. All right, so now let's talk more about the Inkbird. Try to invest in something like this, you guys. I'm pretty sure there's more expensive version like the Palma, but hey, spend whatever money you can feel good about. So with this one, I can set it up to a certain temperature. For example, I set it up to 60 degrees in here, okay? So, and I set the heat tolerant to 10 degrees. Basically, if it ever dipped down to 50 degrees, right? The heater that's connected to the outlet right here will turn on, and run on until it reaches 60 degrees and it will turn off. How awesome is that, guys? And also I set the cold tolerant to be 30 degrees, which means if it is 90 degrees, 30 degrees higher than 60, the fan, okay, back there will also automatically turn on, and it will only turn off when it reaches back down to 60. Okay, you guys. Awesome part is, for example, if we ever have to go out of town, I can always monitor the temperature currently. Okay, and it will have a graph. You can see the trend and how warm and cold it is throughout the night on certain days. Okay, so 68.1 degrees right now, and that is what we have on this guy. Okay, to be anonymous is awesome. And here's the heavy duty splitter. I have the Inkbird connected to it and my Wi-Fi camera, and that's it. And here's how the heavy duty extension cord look like. It's very thick compared to usual. Okay, use common sense and you should be fine. Okay, now let's take a quick look at the Wi-Fi. Okay, this is something I also recommend you guys to put on inside. That way when you at night, you can always look in here. You have an infrared view, so you can see all the heat source, and yeah, you can talk to it, you can, you know, whatever. So those are my main heat source. Now let's take a look at this large black container of water. Not only I'm able to use my rainwater and water all my plants in here, this water will absorb the heat. It is pretty warm right now. Okay, so at night it will slowly radiate a little bit of heat, and that is all we need for those cold nights, guys. Okay, I got my guava next to it, and it will survive this winter easily. Okay, guys. Another quick look. I made sure to seal all of the opening on this door because I'm not using it for winter. Okay, ideally I would seal it up with bubble wrap, but I don't have enough. So if you are living further up north, then considering bubble wrapping the whole north end of the greenhouse. Okay, that's important. I'm not done here yet, but I will soon, and wrap this whole front entrance. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. If you have any question, okay, guys, now let's talk about my heat source. Okay, before I begin, do this and follow my step at your own risk. Okay, it has been working for me for the last almost 4 years now, but you got to be safe. Okay, so my heat source all come from electricity. So I run a very heavy gauge extension cord from the back of our house, and here I have a triple outlet splitter that is about a 8 gauge heavy duty kind. Okay, and from that I have an Inkbird Wi-Fi temperature controller thermostat, you know, that can turn on my space heater here anytime the temperature dip too low, and if the temperature dip too high, it can also turn on my cooling fan that I have in the back behind me. Okay, so I will grab the camera and show you guys more on that. But basically I want my greenhouse to be autonomous, to be able to, you know, to have the heater turn on by itself when it reaches a certain temperature. It's huge, you guys. Before this, I would have to walk out here and manually turn on my space heater. Okay, and it can get tiring, and yeah, with this Wi-Fi I can check the temperature at any time. I also can control the settings. Okay, and also I have a Wi-Fi camera that I hook up behind this camera, so I can always take a look in here at any time that I like. Okay, so that is man, probably the second best thing I've done in this greenhouse, besides the insulation. So, quick talk about the space heater. You just need a very basic model space heater to heat up a greenhouse of this size. Okay, yeah, but you will need a dummy space heater. Reason why? These can automatically turn on if the power went out and back on in the middle of the night. Okay, with the smarter digital heater, you will have to come out and reset and push the button, which is not ideal for inside here. Okay guys, this is very basic. Have a safety switch on the bottom, so if it tip over, it can turn off. And don't be fooled by the cost, okay? The expensive space heater. They all have a certain wattage. Most of these space heater, the highest setting is at 1500 watt, which is about a 15 amp heater. Okay, so as long as you have a good blowing fan, that is pretty good enough for an 8x12 cattle panel greenhouse. You don't need anything fancy. Yes, you can spend your money and spend more and get a higher brand heater and controller setup, but these, I basically spent $30 something on the Inkbird Wi-Fi controller and only $20 on this space heater, and they have worked wonderfully. Okay, one thing of note, whatever you do, be smart. Make sure you test out the space heater and run it on high. Go ahead and run it on high and make sure you are able to check it for a whole day or two. Okay, feel the wire, see how everything is working out. That's common sense, right? If you know they work well and there are no problems, then continue to use it that way. In my case, these installation have allowed me to basically run my space heater on the low setting, about 900 watt. So I don't have to use the high setting anymore. Yeah, and that is quite amazing, you guys. So I would feel a lot safer not running on max setting for those cooler nights, guys. Okay, so what do I do when the power went out for a whole night? Okay, and not knowing when the power will be turned on. Well, you need a backup source for sure, and this is it for me. Okay, my main purpose inside this greenhouse is to keep it above freezing. I'm not trying to grow a huge amount of vegetable, so as long as it's above freezing or near freezing for a brief amount of time, I'm good. The majority of my citrus can survive near 30-ish degree easily. Okay, but just in case we dip down to the negative and the power turn out, which happened before during the polar vortex, I had to bring out a propane tank heater, and you will have to figure something out, but this is my best option right now. Okay, I have a heater source attached to the tank, and running it on low, this I can run it on for 3 to 4 nights, and it put out a lot of heat, guys. Okay, so yes, you need a backup source because you never know how bad it can get during the winter. Okay guys, I think I will conclude my video here. I hope it is useful for you guys, and if you have any question, please leave a comment below. I have survived the battle against the Night King, the Frost, the Frost King of winter for the past 3 years. I got through the polar vortex with no problems. Only one casualty, but it was a very tropical plant. The power went out for a night, and my old heater did not kick back on, and that is how I got, screwed on that part. But now with this this setup and this simple dumb space heater, I'm able to sleep very soundly at night. So yeah guys, I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay healthy, stay blessed, and grow what you love to eat. invest in a type of a greenhouse if you love growing anything, right? So, and especially in a cattle panel greenhouse, can save you a lot of money. All right, bye guys. Happy Thanksgiving.